Hey, today I'd like to talk about the basics of poker to try to get you ready to be able to play a pretty solid game easily. So once again, I'm going to repeat what I said in the previous video, but the target at poker is not to win big hands, it's not to do big bluff, it's the opposite of what we see in Casino Royale when you see James Bond going with like crazy hands, crazy bluff and things. That's not poker. So the main idea at poker is to attack before we see the cards to win the pot. So right now the pot is 30, and I already got a decisions with my hand. Ace 3 is not. It's good because it's suited, so I can make a flush and I can make the best flush possible. So that's a good hand. But we need to see what happened before. What happened before is that this guy opened, so we say he has a good hand, and this guy 3-bet. 3-bet meaning he raised. So this guy say he has a good hand, and this guy say, I have a better hand than you. So then, what about my hand? What about ace 3? Well then, ace 3 in this situation is pretty bad. So I'm not going to play it. I'm going to fold. So always keep track of what's happening and what people are saying. King Queen is good enough, nobody opens, so I'm going to be the one opening. Once again, I'm going to open and try to get all the, what we call the dead money, all the money in the middle. If they fold, that's great. Otherwise, we're going to play poker, and I don't mind playing poker because I got a good hand to play poker. On the left pocket 4, we're going to open it. All right, King Queen, we are against 2 players, so it's very different than when we were facing 1 players, because when we're against 2 players and we bluff, we need to make 2 people fold in order to win 1 pot. Meanwhile, when we are in what we call heads up, meaning 2 people, we only need to make 1 player fold to win the pot. So anyway, I decided to not bluff with my hand, so I check, and he goes for a very quick, very big bet. He bet almost the same as the money in the middle. So it's not a good spot to try to bluff him or try to call because we don't believe him. It's a much better situation to fold. On the left pocket 4, I open, he raised, I would have folded, but this guy called too. And so now I have to put 22 in order to win 88. So my risk reward, it's exactly 25% of the time. So the question is, do I win 25% of the time with pocket 4? I think so, it's close. We can just fold it, to be honest. I call because we have a lot of chips. So if I hit a 4, I can win a giant pot. And now, once again, it's not a spot to bluff. We are facing 2 players. We might consider bluffing if they check again. But right now, we're just trying to see as many cards as possible, trying to get a 4. This guy raised, he bet half, we obviously fold. Ace King, really strong hand, Ace King. But the problem with Ace King is that it's really strong until you see the cards. So Ace King is the kind of hands that you want to play fast. So I open, he raised, this is the kind of hand we're going to re-raise. So I just go for it, I'll just re-raise him. Pocket 8, we're going to open. And now if we go all in, we'll have a decision. He fold, which is amazing. Like, we really don't want to see the card. Why we don't want to see the card with Ace King? Because 60% of the time, there will be no ace and no king in the middle, and we have Ace King, and what do? But it's not a good spot, right? So Ace King, we want to play it fast. Top right table, bottom right table, he go 2/3. I have 3rd pair. I'm just gonna fold right away. It's a bit annoying because pocket 8 is nice, but he bet 2/3 and there's 2 overcards to my pair. And 6-9 we have nothing, but we don't have nothing because we have what we call an open-ended straight draw, which means we have 4 cards following each other and we can make a straight. So we have a decent hand to call or to raise. And so now the question is, do I want to bluff here or not? This is what we call a bomb pot, by the way. A bomb pot is everybody got 2 cards, sorry, and we see the flop right away. So there's 9 players seeing the flop with random cards. So we call, and I will keep betting, and now we're gonna have to do some math. I have to put 85 to win 300. So I need to be right roughly 27% of the time to justify a call. And am I gonna win 27% of the time? Well, let's count how many cards make me win. Any 10 and any 5 make me win. And how many cards is that? they're 4-10 and 4-5. It's 8 cards. And 8 cards is how many chance to win. You just multiply by 2. It's 16%. So I have 16% chance to have a 10 or a 5 at the river. River is the last card. So 16% chance. And when he bets, as said before, I need to be right roughly like something like 25% of the time. So if I win 25% of the time, I should call. But I'm not going to win 25% of the time because we just calculated that I'm going to win 16% of the time. So I should just fold. So he bet, I call. He bet big. I cannot call. Wait, let me just put this here quickly and play this hand. Okay, King 7 offsuit, we're not going to play it. Ace 2 offsuit, we're not going to play it. Ace 3 offsuit, we're not going to play it. Cool, so we can just go back to this hand. So here, easy fold, especially because let's say the last card is a 10, but it's the 10 of club. Sure, yeah, I have a straight, but he can have a flush now, or he can have a better straight than me. So it's not a very, it was really good to have 6-9 here. And then when I call and he keep betting big, well, there's nothing we can do. And here we have pocket king. We do with pocket king. We raise. When we raise 3 to 4 times. I recommend you to raise 4 times. We'll go in detail into actually there's different sizing, but we're just going to simplify to just raise 4 times. So he opened, I raise, and this guy called my raise, which is weird. And I've seen him playing. I know how we play, so against him I'm going to check actually. King 8, we have nothing. Okay, if there's a 5, we have a straight, but these boards are really bad. And now we make an 8, we might want to bet. Kings, the next card is an ace, which is really dirty, so we're just not going to bet. It's a bit sad that there's an ace, and there's another ace, which actually is a good thing now, because it's really unlikely he has an ace. He can have to 8, to 9. 2-8, 2-9 will not pay bigger than this. So I'm going to tailor my sizing to make sure that I get called by 2-8 and 2-9. And with King 8, yeah, we have a pair of 8, but if he has a 5, we lose. If he has a flush, we lose. There's nothing we can do here. It's just a very ugly board for us. So we're just going to fold. And here, seems like I choose the right sizing because seems like he's very annoyed and he's really hesitating between call and fold. So unlikely he fold, but unlucky, sorry, he fold, but yeah. Good sizing. Queen 10, offsuit, a hand good enough to play if nobody go crazy. Pre-flop, this is pre-flop. Flop is the 3 first card, before the 3 first card, pre-flop. So nobody go crazy, and so now we have one good player here, and I don't want a good player to get in the hand, so I'm gonna raise. If everybody fold once again, great. I get all the dead money, I love it. Otherwise, if he call, it's cool, we can play poker. But he does something else, he raise. And does this hand comfortable to play when I get raised? Not at all. What does he say he has? He say he has a really strong hand. I'm gonna show you because we can pay to see his hand. So I'm gonna pay, and you're gonna see he has aces or kings, right? So it's what we call, what he did, his move is called a New York back raise. What is a New York back raise? Is when this guy put the minimum amount of money, for example, he put 2, somebody raised, and then he's gonna re-raise. So he put 2 to kind of not scare people and kind of let someone do something crazy like I did. Although it's not crazy with Queen 10, but I could have just called, but yeah. A6, so he opened. A6, what do we do with ace and 6? We are gonna call or raise. I'm happy to call. It's a hand that can play in multi-way. Multi-way meaning it's more than 2 players. It's a hand that played pretty well because I can make a straight, I cannot make a straight, sorry. I can make flushes, I can make the best flushes possible and have an ace. And it's easy to play because now if he bets, we just fold. He checks. Do we want to bluff? Well, once again, same story. Bluffing, for my bluff to work, I need 2 people to fold to win 1 pot. It's not a great idea, especially because if I had 2 heart in my hand, I could bluff because if they call, I'm still happy because, puff, here, a heart, now I have a flush. So even if they call, when I have 2 heart on the flop, the 3 first card, I'm okay betting. But here I have nothing. So if I bet and they call, I cannot improve. I can improve with an ace, but that's all. So we're going to fold. And I was focusing on queen jack, bottom left, queen jack, I open, he raised, we could have folded already. Okay, so now it's interesting. He goes 1/3. We have a second pair, so we're not going to fold. We're going to call, but we are not mega thrilled and happy about this spot. We're going to check, obviously. He's the one who raised, so he's the one attacking, and we're the one defending. And now we bet small again, which is interesting. Ah, fuck, I wanted to call here. Bet small, I'm not going to fold, I'm going to call, but it's just so weird to bet small. Okay. This card is very dynamic now because any ace queen and queen 9 make a straight. I can have a lot of king 10, jack 10. So I'm going to do something funny. I'm going to tank, meaning I'm going to take all my time before checking. And it's going to scare him to bluff. Because when he sees me tanking, I'm basically saying, I kind of want to bet here. So when I'm going to check, it's more likely he give up his bluff, which he did, and we win. Because obviously here, if he bets, I have to fold. I have second pair, and there is a king, a jack, and a 10 on the board, so he can have a lot of straights and 2 pairs. So we're not looking for a call here. We were just going to fold, but lucky we made him check, and we saw the hand. So something I didn't talk about, and it's really important to understand this about poker is a game of attack and defense. So when a player raises, like this guy raised, he say he has a good hand. This hand is not good enough to call, so I cannot call. But let's try to see spots where this happens. When somebody raises, he's the one who attack, and the one who call, defend. What does it mean is that when I'm raising, I'm saying I have a very strong hand. I'm saying I have 2 ace, 2 king, 2 10. I have king jack, I have queen 10 suited. I have good hand. And when somebody call, he is saying he doesn't have a lot of good hands. He doesn't have aces, he doesn't have kings, he doesn't have ace king because this hand would raise before we see the card. So when he just call, he is saying he has medium strength hand. So if he has medium strength hands, if he's defending and he has medium strength hands, he should never bet. He should check and let the guy who attack do the betting. Let the guy who attack put money in the middle. So here, king 10, let's hope we can see one of these spots so I can explain it further. King 10, he limp is the minimum bet possible. I'm going to raise because king 10 is good to play, but it's not good to play with many people. So I'm going to raise, I hope everybody fold, or I hope only one guy call. Perfect, we just win, we win 10 chips. We invested 10 to win 20, so lovely, love it. King 10 is not great, so obviously if people fold, I'm happy. When I have aces and people fold, I'm pretty sad. Ace king, we're going to open. And 5-7, you might think, oh, it's sexy, it's pretty. It's pretty, but there's 8 people behind me, so somebody might wake up with a big hand and raise, and I cannot call, and I cannot play. So I cannot play this hand here. If I was in the button, or if I was in the blinds, the last people talking, this hand would be good to play. Ace king, we are facing 2 people. We have nothing. We're just going to check, try to see the cards. Here, if everybody check until the end, we are going to win around 20% of the time maximum. And you know what? It's fine. Okay. An ace come. Now we're going to bet. And we're not going to bet small. We're going to bet 2/3. It's usually a good sizing. We're not going to go into too much detail about which sizing is good, but we're going to go 2/3. They folded. Shame. But yeah, we have a good hand. So we're going to bet and try to put money in the middle and try to get called by worse aces. That was the plan, but it didn't work. So we in a small pot, but that's still fine. Ace jack offsuit. We are looking to play this hand. It's pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. He limp again, minimum bet possible, and he raised. I have 2 choices. I can call, or I can raise. I'm happy to call here. I think it's not a big difference what you do. Ace 3, we're going to play it. And pocket 7, we're going to play it. So we have 3 hands at the same time. Ace jack, he fold. We are 2 people. And we see the flop. And we have nothing, but we have what we call backdoors. Backdoors meaning that we have possible straights and flushes. So I could make a flush with spades, or I could make a straight with like 9, 10, queen, and so on. But he bet 2/3. I'm not gonna call. I'm just gonna fold. Pocket 3, I open. He 3-bet. We're gonna fold. Ace 3. Sorry, we're gonna fold Ace 3. Chill. And we have a lot of hand at the same time. Fucking hell, we have a lot of hands. King deuce, great spot. We have 4 club. We are looking to win a big pot here. On the left, pocket 7, he bet big. He has only 60 behind. The pot is 76, so we're just gonna ask him for everything. My hand is very strong here, but it's not invincible. If the next card is okay, well, he didn't raise this hand pre-flop, so I open and he just called pocket king, which is pretty bad from him, because this hand is great, and so you're looking to put all your money in the middle as fast as possible. So he made a mistake. This time, his mistake allowed him to make some money, but that's just not how the game works, so we don't have to care about that. He made a mistake in the long run. Too many hands, too many hands. So king deuce, top right. 4 club, he bets small. Interesting. Any 5 wins. The question, if he has a 5, would he bet this small? I'm not sure, so I'm gonna call, because call is not a mistake. It's obviously good. I'm investing 15 to win 170. So I'm gonna call. And ace jack, very interesting. Ace jack. I think I'm gonna have to raise here. There's so many possible. There's like 2 different flush draw. Some straights are possible. We are gonna want to pile money in the middle. I'm gonna even put everything. You know what? Fuck that shit. I'm gonna go all in, 200, because I just want. Yeah, he fold, and that's great. That's great. He can call me with a worse jack. I have a 3 jack, so it's really strong. I'm really happy here. But I don't want to raise small. He call, and then the last card is another club or another diamond, and then I'm in a very annoying spot. So we're just gonna bet as big as possible here. Ace 4. He open. I'm gonna raise because I don't want this good guy to get in the hand. And king 9, I open, he call, we have nothing, but we bet 1/3, and he's gonna have a tough time defending. So he open, I raise, he re-raise all in. Obviously, we're gonna fold. The main idea for raising was to make sure we play 1v1. This hand it's not amazing, but we can play some poker with it. So I raise, he go all in, so now he say he has 2 ace, 2 king, 2 queen, ace king, easy fold. See you later. King 9, I bet, he call, turn, I check. River is the last card, river, the flush get there, we have nothing, we're not looking for bluff here, we're just gonna fold. No problem, we don't have a good hand, we don't really care about it. Pocket 6, he open, he call, I call, I'm happy to see a flop and try to hit a 6. Nobody bet, I'm gonna check, see a free card, it's not a 6. Was close to be a 6. Pocket deuce, I'm gonna fold to a 3-bet. 3-bet is a raise because it's not a good hand. Pocket 6, he's betting 2/3. We have an easy fold. There are 4 players in the hand. People can have ace. People can have a 7. We have pocket 6. We have nothing. We were just We were just happy to see 4 cards because we were just hoping to get a 6 and win the giant pot. We didn't hit a 6. We're out of here. I realized there is a lot of things happening in this video. I hope it's not too hard to follow. But yeah. So let's go back to, I'm going to repeat myself because I think it's very important to understand the main idea of poker, of attack defense. When I raise, I still have a good hand, I attack. When you call, you say you have medium hands, you defend. And so if you defend, you should let me do the betting. So there's something as at poker called the position. So in this hand up here, who has the position? Meaning who talk last? Who talk last? Well, as him. This guy talked first. You can see he bet, and this guy took last. So this guy has position. So position is a very important thing at poker because it allows you to see what the other guy do first. Poker is a game of incomplete information, right? You don't have all the information, and so when you have the position, you get to have more information because you get to see what the other guy does. Queen Jack of suit, I can play it, and I can also fold it because there's many people in the hand. Somebody can wake up with a monster. It's a pretty weak hand in this position because 8 people behind me. If I was late position, like button or the blind, I would always play this hand, obviously. So I open, 2 people call, king 8. I'm gonna bet very small here. When I bet really small, they have a lot of, say, auto fold. They have a lot of hand like something like 4-5 of diamond. They cannot call. Something like 10-7 cannot call. Jack 3, Jack 6, Jack 7 cannot call. 10-5, it's suited, but this guy raised 10. We're not gonna play this hand. 10 is a really big raise for this format. Normally you raise at 3 chips, but this is a pretty different kind of poker where we start the hand with a lot of money in the middle, which means that you are incentivized to raise bigger. That's why at this format we raise at 6 chips. Meanwhile, normally 6 big blind, to be precise. Meanwhile, normally you would raise at 2.5 or 3 big blind. Five, 8, bottom left, not great. Happy to play it if nobody wants to play. Otherwise, we'll just fold it if somebody raise. And pocket king, second best hand in the game. We are looking forward a big pot. So this guy put the minimum, this guy call. We're obviously gonna raise. We want to win a big pot. We want to put all the money in the middle. So we're just gonna raise. He fold, and he call. Okay, so let's think about it. These cards are great for him, not great for me, because he has a lot more 6 and 7 than me. We're not gonna go too much in detail for why. I'm gonna bet half here. We can go 2/3. He called very fast, which is cool, which means that he has something like a 7 or 6 or 2 club or 8-9. Sorry for the noise, by the way. We're gonna keep betting. We want to put everything by the river. The river is the last card, so we bet 2/3. Hopefully he calls, and then we can go all in. And otherwise, if you fold now, then he fold now. And if you go all in here, it's obviously an easy call. Yeah, sometimes he has a 2, really rarely. Sometimes he has 2 7s or 2 6, really rarely. But otherwise, we're just very happy here. So we're gonna put all the money at the middle. Make sure to not rush. When you rush, it's scary. Take your time. Always take your time at poker. He call, he has 7, we win a pretty big pot. Nice. We're happy. And we got pocket kings again, because why not? So we're gonna raise again. He fold, shame. Pocket kings again. That would have been fun. Well, listen, 24 minutes is a pretty long video already, so I'm gonna leave you to it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. See ya and good luck at the tables.